What a stacked championship final we have for you this evening. Hali Flickinger, your top seed this morning, 2:07.75. She's been third fastest in the world so far this year at a 2:06.67, which she swam at the Chicago Tier Pro Swim Series. Flickinger in lane number 4, right next to her, Charlotte Hook. Second fastest time this morning, 2:09.51 for Hook. She has been a 2:07.87, good for fifth fastest 18 and under in American history. But it's Flickinger at a 28.57, declaring her intentions early. Second was Lindsay Looney, and then a three-way tie for third place between Carter, Stickland, and Smith. Flickinger looking incredibly strong right off the bat. That 2:05.85 U.S. Open record, hers from Olympic trials just under a year ago. She's out in a 1:00.17, just off of her U.S. Open record pace. Flickinger's personal best time, 2:05.65, fastest in the field. Here comes Reagan Smith, however, 1:01.16 for her, almost a full second off of Flickinger's lead pace. As was expected, Hali Flickinger and Reagan Smith holding the lead as we hit the final 50. Do we have a challenge, though, in lane number 1 from Lindsay Looney? Looney right now in third place, 1:35.00 for her, only 0.7 of a second behind Reagan Smith. Final 50 meters, here comes Reagan Smith down. Flickinger was right on that U.S. Open record pace, continuing to look strong as she hits the final few strokes here. Hali Flickinger will win it in a 2:06.35. Second place, Reagan Smith with a 2:07.93.
Four of the top 11 performers in American history assembled in this field, led by Urlando's 1:53.84 personal best time, which ranks him number 3 all-time in this event. And there's Julian through the first 50 with a 25.13, followed by Curzan at 25.5, and Kalish as well, 25.5. Julian, part of USA Swimming's short course meter world championship team in Abu Dhabi 2021, where he was a finalist in the 200-meter butterfly, taking 4th place overall. 53.5 on the opening 100 from Julian. He was 54.0 this morning as he turned in a best time. That is faster than Phelps's U.S. Open record split of 53.7 at the 100. The U.S. Open record recognizes the fastest time ever performed in American waters. And Trendon Julian in control through the 150, throws down a 29.4 and a 1:22.9 with 50 to go, still under U.S. Open record pace. The race for second, it's Urlando of Dart, another Californian, making the charge ahead of Zach Harding. Urlando is closing. Julian is tightening up, and here comes Luca Urlando from lane 6. Urlando with the best time of 53.8. The touch goes to Urlando. 1:54.10. Luca Urlando wins the trip to Budapest this summer to represent Team USA at the World Championships. Julian second with a 54.22, followed by Zach Harding at 55.09 and Caeleb with a 56.03.
Take your mark.
Down and back, that's that. Women's 100-meter freestyle championship final on the way. We've got to make some relays out of these swims. An early lead looks like it might be lane number 2, Abby Weitzel, two-time world champion. All sorts of hardware to her name. And what has been an incredible career for the 25-year-old California Aquatics. She's in the lead, 25-34. Second is Hinds by 1/100th of a second. Hinds out in the 25-35, looking very strong. Hinds the only sub-54 swim this morning. 25-48 for Curzan, 25-77 for Huske. Literally anybody's race. Final 15 meters here in the women's 100 freestyle. Who's going to get their hands on the wall first? Look at Erika Brown in lane 7. It's Torri Huske, 53-35, winning the 100 freestyle. Second place, Curzan with a 53-58. Third place, Erika Brown, 53-59. And Natalie Hinds in fourth with a 53-65. An absolute down to the wire 100 freestyle championship final. And automatically earning their spot on the World Championship team, Natalie Hinds, Erika Brown, Curzan, and your 100 freestyle champion with a 53-35 from Stanford. That's Torri Huske winning and making up our 400 freestyle World Championship relay.
Take your mark.
Dressel jumping out to that quick advantage with that patented blazing start with Held keeping pace through the first 50. 22-6 from Dressel, 22-8 from Held, and then it's Brooks Curry out of Louisiana State in lane 6. Kibler with a good breakout out of the turn, gets up to the hip of Dressel. Even field here as we look to determine the men's relay. Lane 6 now, Brooks Curry with a close. Dressel initiates the closing sequence out of lane 4 and gets to the wall with a 47.79. Now the top performer in the world for 2022. Second, Brooks Curry with a 48.04. Third goes to Ryan Held at 48.18. And a tie for fourth. Drew Kibler and Hunter Armstrong both at 48.25.
Take your mark.
Fifteen-time world champion Ledecky is in lane number 4. She is the American and world record holder and currently the owner of the fastest time in the world so far at an 8:11.83 right off the bat. She takes over the lead. Katie Grimes right now, your open water national champion. Just a few weeks ago, she won the 10K and then went on to win the Junior National 7.5K. A year after winning the Junior National 5K. So distance runs deep for Grimes. Of course, Grimes, that incredibly exciting second place finish at Olympic trials in Omaha. And then fourth in this event at the Olympic Games as a 15-year-old. 100 meters in, 57.89 for Ledecky, and she's getting out fast. 59.01 for Katie Grimes. Grimes, the second fastest in that first 100, also the second fastest 15 and 16-year-old of all time, pursuing the GOAT, Katie Ledecky. That time a 8:13.86. Grimes second all time at an 8:17.05. 150 meters down, 128.05. Leah Smith now moving up into second place, 130.1. Grimes now in third, 130.4, and then Bella Sims, the fifth fastest 15-16 800 freestyler in history, or in American history, is in fourth place. Sandpipers of Nevada, synonymous with distance swimming. And in this top-seeded 800 free, we have three Sandpipers in the field. Ledecky, 159.42, and it's not too early to point out that she is about 0.8 of a second under her own world record pace. We'll see how that shapes up. It's a long race, and a lot can change for sure. Leah Smith also looking strong, continuing to sit in second with that 2:01.39, now 0.6 of a second between her and Katie Grimes. It is worth noting, Katie Ledecky, the past few meets that we've gotten to see her, Tier Pro stops in San Antonio and in Chicago, has been just absolutely dynamite on the back half of her distance races. Could we have something cooking this evening? We'll keep an eye closely as we go. 300-meter mark, Ledecky sitting right at about 0.7 under her own world record. 3:00.76 for her. Leah Smith, 3:03.92. Smith's personal best is an 8:16.33, and right now she's definitely trending close to that time. These ladies both looking very strong. Don't count out Grimes and Sims. The Sandpipers known for their ability to come back late and make up big deficits when needed. But right now it is all Katie Ledecky. So here comes Katie Ledecky, 15 meters before we hit the halfway mark, and that's where things really start to get serious in this race. Legs start burning, lungs start aching, and you just got to keep pushing through, but she is pushing through. 4:01.98 for Katie Ledecky. That's an amazing 400 freestyle in its own right. Smith at a 4:06.67, not shabby either. Claire Weinstein amongst the Sandpipers into third place. So you got Sandpipers of Nevada right now in third, fourth, and fifth. But it's Katie Ledecky at the 450-meter mark. Ledecky approaching her final 300 meters. Let's check in right where she stands. She's definitely under U.S. Open record pace. She's a little bit over that world record pace, but still within striking distance, especially given how strong she's been in the back half of races recently. 0.4 of a second. Leah Smith at a 5:09.28. Katie Grimes now starting to make her move, but still being outsplit by both Ledecky and Smith. Ledecky still right there, about 250 meters to go. Right now, Ledecky trending right at about that 805 to 806 range, which would be good for one of the top 5 fastest swims in history. She's a second over, 200 meters to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind Katie Ledecky, your leader, as she fights for that U.S. Open record right now. And who knows, training with Bobby Finke could pay off here as we hit the final 150, 175 meters of the women's 800 freestyle. Leah Smith is absolutely flying as well. Great swims all around right now. Ledecky falling off of that world record pace, but still right at that U.S. Open record pace. Ladies and gentlemen, final 100 meters for Katie Ledecky, your reigning Olympic champion. How fast will she go? Her U.S. Open record is the second fastest swim of all time. Right now, she's trending towards the third fastest swim in history. Leah Smith also absolutely flying. She's going to threaten her best time, may just miss it. Final turn for Ledecky. Ledecky splitting a 31, meaning that she is right at that U.S. Open pace, just a little bit behind it now. Katie Ledecky, final few strokes. How fast is this time going to be from Ledecky? How about an 8:09.27 from Katie Ledecky? And ladies and gentlemen, that is the 7th fastest 800 freestyle in history. Leah Smith with an 8:17.52. And you just saw the 2 fastest swimmers in the world so far this year in the women's 800 freestyle. Third place in 8:22.36 from Bella Sims. That's a personal best time for her as well. Fourth place, Katie Grimes at an 8:22.73. And then 5th place, Claire Weinstein with an 8:29.34, a best time for her by over 3 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all of our 800 freestylers.
So Finke comes in with the top personal best in this field of 14:39.65, just hundredths away from the American record established by Connor Yeager in 2016 at the Rio Olympic Games of 14:39.48. All right, so through the first 175 meters here, Bobby Finke establishing himself early on as the primary contender to win this event. No surprise there. As Finke will roll through the 200 with a 154.35. Pretty similar pacing here. Yeager was out in a 55.55 on his way to setting the American record. Second, Alec Enyart of Tsunami at 156.76, and third, Tyler Watson of Florida with a 56.83. The FINA age standard for the men's 1500-meter freestyle is a 15:04.64, and Charlie Clark has been under that back in August of 2021, establishing his personal best of 15:04.37. He is the only other swimmer in this field to have been faster than the FINA 8 cut of 15:04 in the men's 1500, besides Bobby Finke. Finke coming off the NCAA championships, where he won the 1650 for Florida. Already looking stronger here, this version of Finke out, and a 2:53.1 at the 300. Leading Enyart of Tsunami from lane 2, continuing to put together a great performance. The 18-year-old out of Kansas City comes in with a 15:19.17. Alec Enyart is a Texas commit here, who ranks number 41 all time in the 17-18 age group for the 1500-meter freestyle. Finke through the 400 in a very strong 3:51.92. That's 2 seconds under American record pace, as Yeager was a 3:53.15. Vanderkay, when he set the U.S. Open record, was a 3:54.42. Now Charlie Clark of Ohio State has moved into second place from lane 5. Enyart in third. Fourth place, David Johnson of Texas in lane 6. Checking the split of 500 for Finke, a 4:50.78. 29 fours for that last 100. Now Finke starting to heat up here in the race behind Finke, with Johnston moving into third ahead of Enyart. Watch out for Tyler Watson at lane 1, currently in 5th place. Challenging Gallen of NC State from lane 3. 29-4 there from Finke. The 600 split at the American record was a 5:51.53. So Finke certainly on his way to being better than that. 5:54.07 from Vanderkay for the U.S. Open record. That was done in the 2008 Olympic trials in Omaha. .29.5 there from Finke and a 5:49.77, continuing to lead the American record splits by nearly 2 seconds. Charlie Clark coming off a great NCAAs for Ohio State. We saw Clark and Finke battle here at the 2021 U.S. Open, where Clark led the majority of the race, only to have Bobby Finke race him down in the final 50 meters to take the victory. They were 1-2 the 2021 U.S. Open here in Greensboro. Finke now at the 700, approaching the halfway mark. That's a 6:48.68. Now a full 2 seconds under American record pace, as Bobby Finke is putting on a show here in Greensboro on night one of competition. .47.81 from Bobby Finke. That is a great time in the 800-meter freestyle. And Finke here with 700 remaining, continuing to just chop away at a potential American record swim, with Charlie Clark at second at 7:55.31. Third, David Johnson at 7:59.96. We haven't seen any lead changes behind Finke since the 600, when Will Gallant moved into fifth place. The Olympic trials in Omaha 2021, Finke was a 14:46.06. Charlie Clark was fifth in that race with a 15:14.11, followed by Gallant, Johnson, and Gravely. So half of the Olympic trial final featured here in this race tonight. We're going to see the 1,000-meter split here from Finke. And only he knows what his plan was, together with Coach Nesty, coming into this race about challenging the American record or not. But he is doing something historic here this evening, turning in 9:46.56, still leading the American record by 0.3 of a second. Charlie Clark at 9:53.70. Also putting together a tremendous swim here, as Clark looks to break the 15-minute mark for the first time in his career. Looking at the all-time rankings for American men, there's only been 13 swimmers to break that 15-second barrier. Led by Connor Yeager's American record, 14:39.4. Bobby Finke, Jordan Wilimowski, Larson Jensen, Peter Vanderkay, Eric Bent, Zane Grothe, Andrew Gemmel, Chad Latourette. Michael McGee has broken that 15-minute mark, and Charlie Clark is hoping to join that club. Connor Yeager was split about a 57 in the final 100. when he set that record at the Rio Games. And he got Leach in the final 100, potentially as fast as Sun Yang's final 100, which was a 54-second split. That's the world record time. Sun Yang of China from the 2012 London Olympics, a 14:31.02. As Charlie Clark actually making up some ground here. He's got the top splits over the last 200 meters. Charlie Clark coming down to 29.6, 29.4, 29.5, 29.7. As we get into the final 300 meters now, Bobby Finke with a 29.8, just his second over American record place. Still chasing that U.S. Open record, though, set by Peter van der Kate 12 years ago. As Bobby Finke 5 seconds under that U.S. Open record from Peter van der Kate, established 14 years ago, that is, at 14:45.54. And Clark continuing to outsplit Finke. You got to figure the amount of ground to make up here is just too much for Charlie Clark. He's got about 10 meters. But Clark does look very good out of lane 5. As we got the 1,300 meter split coming up for the Tokyo champion Bobby Finke. 12:45.9. American record split was a 12:43.4. U.S. Open record split 12:50.3. And that is, on the men's side, the third oldest U.S. Open record in existence. Peter van der Kate's effort from the initial Omaha trials. Finke goes up to 30.0 there. Charlie Clark as well, as we may see the first signs of fatigue settling in here with the final 3 lengths of the pool. Now approaching the bell turn. Bobby Finke of Florida, lane 4, followed by Charlie Clark of Ohio State. The race for third, it's David Johnston with about a 2-second advantage over Alec Enyart, the future Texas swimmer, out of lane 2, looking to join his future teammate there. So going into the final turn here, Finke is just off U.S. Open record pace. He's fallen off here by about a second. And we'll see if he's got the kick here to bring it home. You can help him out, ladies and gentlemen. Get your hands up and let him know that you are in the building. Charlie Clark making a furious dash out of lane 5. He's going to put up a best time. As Bobby Finke reaches into the wall with a 14:45.72, just 0.2 off the U.S. Open record. Charlie Clark is second with a 14:51.78 as Clark breaks the 15-minute mark for the first time. And Charlie Clark is now the 7th fastest American in history in this event. Third will go to David Johnston of Texas, 15:08.90, as Johnston also turns in a best time by 8 seconds, followed up by the youngster from Kansas City in lane 2, Alec Enyart, 15:12.70, also a best time for Enyart.